Welcome back to another lesson. In this one, we're looking at our Group 1 alkali metals. And it's an important topic because we can get asked questions about the trend in reactivity down the group, general reactions involving our Group 1 alkali metals, as well as the general properties that surround this group. Now, to start off, we need to know where they are in the periodic table. And as the name suggests, they're found in Group 1, the first group on the periodic table. So let's have a look at that. We're going to focus on their physical properties first. And contrary to many metals, they're actually going to be quite soft, to the point where you can cut them with a dull knife. They're going to have a relatively low melting point and a low density, which means they can float on water. And lastly, their melting point is going to decrease as we go down the group, with lithium having the highest and francium having the lowest. And after this, we'll have the chemical properties, where we'll look at their reactions in water. Now, once we add our alkali metal to our liquid water, it's going to react and it's going to fizz or bubble or produce an effervescence. And all this means is that a gas is produced. Specifically, it's hydrogen gas. Now, as you go down the group, they are more likely to catch on fire. And as the reaction continues, the metal actually dissolves into the water. And this is a general reaction where X just represents any of those alkali metals. And the balancing for this reaction is going to be the same, where it reacts with water, produces a metal hydroxide, and that hydroxide indicates it's an alkali. And lastly, that hydrogen gas, which we can always test for using the squeaky pop test. And we'll cover our gas tests in another video. Now, we're going to focus on the first three of our alkali metals, having a look at the atomic trends down the group. So this here's our lithium, and we can see there from the periodic table extract that it has 3 electrons, 2 in the first shell and 1 on the last. And similarly with sodium and potassium, they're all going to have 1 outer shell electron because they're in group 1. Now, as we go down the group, we can see that they're actually increasing in electron shells, gaining 1 electron shell as we go down that group. And this actually links in to their reactivity. So as we go down the group, the number of electron shells is going to increase, which means the outer electron, that singular electron, is going to be further from that nucleus. This results in weaker forces between the nucleus and that outer electron, and specifically it's an electrostatic force of attraction, resulting in the outer electron being more easily lost. And because it's easier to lose this outer electron, it just means that it becomes more reactive. So as a general idea, our group 1 metals become more reactive as you go down the group. Right, let's apply this to some past paper questions. Here's your first one. Take the next 30 seconds to work through this. Let's see how we've done. Here's the answer to the question. The gas produced in this reaction is hydrogen gas, which we know because of that bubbling. And lastly, the ion is going to be a hydroxide ion. And this signifies an alkaline substance. Right, our next past paper question is as follows. Take the next minute to work through this question. And if you need more time, pause the video. Otherwise, skip ahead. Let's see how we've done. Here's the answer to the question. Now, remember, as a general idea, any of our group 1 alkali metals will fizz as they are added into water. And we can either say fizzing, bubbling, or effervescence. You may observe a flame. That metal will either melt or dissolve into the water. It will float on the surface, and as it floats, it will actually move around the surface, dissolving and giving off a gas. And our last past paper question is as follows. Take the next 2 minutes to work through this question. And again, if you finish early, skip ahead. Otherwise, pause if you need more time. Here's the answer to this question. Now remember, as we go down the group, they gain more electron shells, which means the outer electron becomes further from the nucleus. Therefore, weaker attractions between the positive nucleus and the negative electron, resulting in the outer electron being more easily lost. And if it loses the electron easier, it's going to become more reactive. Okay, let's summarize the lesson. So, the general reactions with water is going to result in fizzing, flames, and the metal dissolving. And the elements are going to become more reactive as we go down the group. And this is because of the changes in the atomic structure, which we can see on the right-hand side there. And that's it for this lesson. The next one will be on the group 7 halogens. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.